of what happened to me before. I had bad network. I had to disconnect just to reconnect again. Now, I'm going to go back to the story. I'm going to start from the top because something made me to start telling the story. So I'm going to go from the top. So something happened to me a few years back. Someone was trying to, he was trying to lie on my head, trying to say I did something. It happened years back though. So, um, so there were so many people around, friends, people were around, lots of people around, you know. So the person said, this is what I'm doing, I did this, blah, 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 said all kinds of things. And I just sat down there with too much shame because I was a very shy person. The shame that was in me could not make me look at people's face. I don't know how to talk in the presence of people. I don't know how to express myself when others are talking. I will always sit down isolated. I don't know how to, when someone do something to me that I don't like, I don't know how to speak up for myself. Like, shame held me down. So that fateful day, that person said a whole lot. Everyone was laughing. So one of them started advising me, oh, you shouldn't have done this. This is something I did not do. But I was so ashamed. I was so ashamed to express myself. Shame held me down. It kept me in one place. This thing, I cried. I just sat down there and I was crying. I cried for so long. I had no one to console me, except for the one person that was telling me, it's okay. It's okay, Oge. Stop crying, but what you did was wrong. I could not tell him that I didn't even do this thing. I did not tell him that this person is judging me from a side. He doesn't even, like, I did not even do this thing. I could not say it because I was ashamed. So after the whole thing, I left in shame. They were laughing, saying all kinds of things, calling me names. I was so ashamed. I left. I stood at the side of the road for long. Stood for so long, I was crying. I managed to get a bus that was going towards my direction, stopped the bus, entered into the bus. Inside the bus, I was still crying. Someone asked me in the bus, why are you crying? I could not express myself also. Tears were just running down my cheek, you know. I was crying. So when it got to my junction, I stood again for like minutes, over 30 minutes. I was trying to comprehend everything that has happened. I was fighting with myself inside my spirit, telling myself, why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you defend yourself? When I was about crossing the road, it was God that saved me that day because it was dark. It was God. I was like, I was telling myself, should I just end this whole life stuff here? Should I just end everything? Is there a better tomorrow for me? That was what I kept telling myself. One spirit kept on telling me to move on, go home. And thank God, when I got to my street where I live, because in Nigeria, there is what we call street. I don't know if they have it in your country or where you live, but in Nigeria, we have what we call street. I don't know how it is in your country. So thank God I met my sisters at the junction. They saw me crying. They walked up to me and said, what is it? I could not talk. They knew there was a problem. For me not to talk, for me not to say a word, they knew there was a problem, so they had to take me home. I locked myself inside my room. I was still trying to comprehend everything that has happened. I was still trying to comprehend. I could not, like, I could not say a word. The person did not see this thing he did as anything, but I saw it as something. The person did not know, oh, he has hurt this person. He took it as a joke. He took it as something that is fun. But it wasn't fun. That event broke me into pieces. It took the better part of me. It made me a sad person for years. It made me an isolated person for years. That little incident broke my heart. But I told myself something that day. That I will never, ever be so ashamed of myself. I will never be so ashamed not to defend myself in any situation. I was so calm that I don't even want I don't want anything that will hurt or get me upset. I was so calmed. For someone to have said that, it broke me. You understand? But because of shame, I was so ashamed. I had to hide everything under shame. I kept on carrying the burden in my heart for years. I was carrying that burden. I was carrying that pains. Each time people try to play with me, I run from them. I feel like this person might do worse to me than the one the other person has done. I'll run. Each time people come, people want to help me, but I can't. I'm always very scared. I killed the shame. I tried to bury that shame. I threw the shame away. So I'm trying to say this because of what happened this morning. I was doing live stream and my sister walked past the camera and because she was so ashamed. So that was what brought about the topics. I was trying to tell someone that was watching my live stream the story of what happened. That's why I had to come back to complete the whole story. So it wouldn't be as if it was half. No. Shame is a very bad thing. When people see you're shy, they're going to do a whole lot too. They're going to do a whole lot. Shame has brought me more pains than not being shamed. Since I threw my shame away, I became a better version of myself. I became a very better person who no longer care about what people say, how people see me, how they feel around me. Because when I cared was when I was shy. Shame is care. Shame is care. A shy person cares a lot because out of shame, they do things they are not supposed to do. They take care of you the way they are not supposed to take care of you. So that is what shame is. You understand? If you limit the shame, it's going to limit the care and attention. These things, it took me so long to discover. It took me so long to learn. In my working place, when I was learning fashion designing, sometimes there was this particular girl that started learning work. I'm not going to make mention of her name. She started learning work from the same place with me. She was trying to, every time she was intimidating me. She was intimidating me with her words, with her action. How? Each time I want to talk, my boss will be like, my madam will be like, oh, Oge, you're senior to this person. Why do you want to say this? You're senior to this person. Don't complain, Oge. She never knew that the person was actually senior to me because I was very big. You know, I'm a chubby person. Okay, you're senior to this person. Don't complain. Whatever they do to you, just overlook. The thing was eating me deep inside my heart. But out of shame, I could not defend myself. Then one day, I tried defending myself. And that day, she stopped. So that's why sometimes I tell my sister not to be ashamed. But that thing it's affected me in my life. It kept me in a place I was supposed to have left for long. Shame is fear. Shame has so many negative effects to life. It has so many negative effects to life. I have sat down. Everything I say, Everything I do in my life, I do them out of experience. I say things out of experience. I do things out of experience. Most things I've experienced in my life has taught me a better lesson. I'm the kind of person that believe one time is enough to learn a lesson. Once something happens to me once, I don't just look at them and overlook them. No, I put them into consideration. I learn a lesson from it. Because every experience you have in life, it's something you ought to teach someone about. Things don't just happen. Things don't just happen. Every single thing that happens to people happens for a reason. You know, like, even in my former church, I used to be a choir member, a chorister, a very good one. But do you know what shame did to me? Do you know how many times I could not defend myself when someone was trying to oppress me in church? No. I was so ashamed. I never wanted to be tagged as a bad person. But I discovered that you can actually put this shame aside and be a better person. Try to express yourself. I learned it. So when do you know what people started saying? When I try to express myself, they'll be like, you complain too much. You're telling them the truth. When people start saying you complain too much, it means you're telling them the truth. They know. They know. When you start telling them, oh, this thing you did, I don't like it too. Don't do this to me again. They will see it as you're complaining too much. You are not complaining. You're being realistic. You're being truthful. It takes only a good person. It takes only a good, wise, intelligent, smart person to accept the fact that they did wrong. It takes only a wise person to accept that what they did was wrong or right. So when you complain and say, oh, this thing you did, I don't like it. You see, you hear them say, you complain. Just know that that thing you're saying is the truth. But they don't want to listen. They don't want to hear you. Everything that happens in life is an experience. Life is a lesson. You learn to teach people that have not experienced it. You learn to teach people that have not experienced those things. Anything you experience in life is a lesson. It is not just, things don't just happen for it to happen. Things happen for you to learn. Things happen for you to understand life from another aspect. And one thing about life is behave like a child. You see, the life of a child is the best life anyone can live. If you learn to live like a child, you will learn to live godly. It's not all about this, what is it called? Your dress, wear your turtleneck, tie your turban. No. It's not all about that. We will learn to live like a child. Being so ashamed, shame held me down. Everyone was talking on my head. Why did you do this? Why did you do that? I didn't even do this thing. But because of shame. So ashamed. But you see, I picked up my broken pieces. I stood up and started again. I told myself that this thing cannot hold me down. I'm above this. I should be above and not below. I picked it up again and started my life again. Do you know those better people you see out there? Do you know how many times they have fallen in life? They choose to stand up and and start all over again. That was what I told myself in that situation. That was what I told myself. So now if I do something, people want to tell me, hey, you do, I don't let shame hold me down. I speak up and say my mind. I speak up and say, this thing you did, I don't like it. Don't do it around me again. This thing you did, I don't like it. I tell them. But if it were to be before, I would be so ashamed. I don't want to say. Let them not say I'm bad. Let them not say I'm this. But now, I say anything like you, I'll be like, I don't like this thing you did. I don't like it. Don't do it around me again. It made me a better person. Learn to love yourself. Choose yourself first before you choose others. Appreciate yourself first before you appreciate others. Because it is only you that can give yourself the appreciation that you need. No one can ever appreciate you the way you need or want to be appreciated. You look at yourself and oh, I'm a better version of yesterday. Oh, like that day, it was God that saved me. God kept me and said, tomorrow is better. Don't just end it here. Tomorrow will be better. Don't just worry. And after some time, the person came and was like, sorry. Don't hurt me intentionally because you want to tell me sorry tomorrow. Don't wrong me today because intentionally, because you think or you feel you can tell me sorry tomorrow and I will just forgive. No. The person was like, sorry. I was like, is there any need? Will this sorry bring back the people that were there when you were saying those things? You knew in your heart that these things you were saying weren't true. You knew in your heart that these things you were saying were just forged by you. And now you're trying to tell me sorry. I looked at the person, I was like, okay. Is there any need? The deed has been done. What is left for me is to pick up my broken pieces and start again. Shame. I don't want to talk about things that shame has done to me. I can't name them. I can't even mention all of them. It's not a good thing. Shame. It can deprive you of being able to stand up and talk. A shy person is a weak person. I was weak when I was over shy. But you see, when I started defending myself, I became very brave in my heart. I became very, very brave. And I'm very happy. In fact, God, I'm very happy. Don't let anybody talk you into like, oh, you're not good enough. Don't let people tell you, oh, you can't do this. Who? Open word. This your compliment is beautiful. This your compliment is beautiful. You know, shame will make you, someone will want to step on your toes. You could not say, oh, why are you matching me now? You'll be like, you laugh. Shame is not good. I'm French. My English is not perfect. I'm Nigeria. My English is not also perfect, but I will try to understand yours. I will try all my possible best to understand you. So let's go. What do you want to say? So I'll try to understand your French English. Okay? So if you're watching me, thank you so very much for joining me. I really appreciate you. So whatever it is you want to say, you can say it. Okay? I will try all my possible best to understand it. Well, I don't intend to stay very long. I just came to complete the story of what shame did to me. Like I was telling you before. So so I just had to complete it. So you won't be like, oh, tell me, tell me. I might not just remember again that I said a story like this. So thank you so very much for all you do for me. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you.